Hi, I'm Winter, and oh boy do I sure love video games. Look at all these things. Pretty cool, right? You ever think about the fact that someone who has a healthy love life couldn't buy all these? Chalk one up for loneliness. But I have a bit of a problem. Look again at the game shelf.
Now you may be saying, I see the problem too, you own Persona 5 Royal, and while that definitely is a problem, it's not the problem. The problem is that I can't store anything else here, and even when I want to buy more of these, god damn they're expensive. Most of the time they're $60 a pop, and that's a lot to ask someone who can barely afford oxygen. So I'm not really much of a game collector yet, I don't have the time, space, or money for it, but I'd still say I collect as a sort of hobby. I mean, do you think I bought James Norris' Hollywood Crimes for Nintendo 3DS because I expected it to be worth the $3 I paid for it? No, I just had the extra money and thought it would be funny. And in my opinion, that's the main distinguishing factor between game collectors and people who just make smart financial decisions. Game collectors will buy games just for their collection, not because they think it's something they'd be interested in. Sorry to break it to you, but I didn't buy Madden 3DS because of my love of the words John Madden's NFL Football for the Nintendo and 3DS in that order.
You didn't?
But collecting as a hobby like this can be sort of discouraging when you're just starting out, especially when on the internet all you see are the biggest collections, hell, game rooms even. Huge rooms full of shelving units covered in games from all sorts of different consoles. Those are definitely what most people think of when it comes to game collecting.
But, you know, everything has to start somewhere, and this is the starting point of my collection.
I feel like the easiest way to start a collection is to just focus primarily on one console, but don't stay too focused on picking up every game. If there's a game you know you won't play on a console, well, you're wasting your money if you buy it. Now obviously I have no issue with wasting money, just look at my 3DS collection, but what's the point of collecting games if you're never going to play them?
I guess I'm one to talk though, because I still haven't played more than half the games I've bought on Steam, like Barnyard Mahjong 3. I'm sure I am missing out there. Well, that must be for me.
Hi, are you Winter right for the Nintendo 3DS?
Yeah, on a good day.
Look, there's really no easy way to tell you this. You're being evicted.
Oh, alright. As long as I don't have to leave my house. I am under house arrest after all.
I have some troubling news for you. It comes in the form of the definition of a 5-letter verb starting with E and ending with vict.
Ooh, this suspense is killing me.
It says pack and leave.
Well, that dictionary is rude.
Get out.
Well, I'm nothing if not easily persuaded by threats of violence. Well, this sure sucks. I'm violating my house arrest, and I'm going to get eaten by a roaming lion. At least I still have, The hell is this again? I knew Persona 5 would get me here someday.
So what brings you to my tax haven?
A police car. Also, when you said a tax haven, I thought you meant, like, somewhere overseas. We're in Virginia, what's up with that?
I'm asking the questions here.
Alright. I was sort of evicted from my house, and they even kicked me out.
No f***ing way.
I know, right? Isn't that f***ed up?
Well, yeah, they let a convicted spider hater out on the streets. I can't even bear to think of the crimes you would have committed had you not been caught.
So I guess I need another trial, right?
Slow down there, bucko. Says here you've already been on trial like 3 times in the past year. I can't let you beat the previous record holder.
Who was that?
Oh, you'd love him. He's a convicted murderer of 7, and he's his big Xenoblade fan.
Well, he does meet all my standards.
Look, unfortunately, I'm not a miracle worker. I can't stop landlords from sucking, but it would be irresponsible of me to keep you out on the streets.
Persona 5 Royal!
Yes! So I think the best course of action would have you stay here in the tax haven.
I don't know. I'm just not really a big tax evasion fan, you know? Like, I wouldn't say I hate tax evasion. It's just not really for me.
It's this or jail!
Do they have Xenoblade in jail?
Only Xenoblade X.
Well, this is fine. Other than the fact that it's totally not fine. Sure, I avoided the fate of only having access to Xenoblade Chronicles X in prison. But this is a step backwards from the initial conversation.
Moving. It's the process of taking all your garbage somewhere else, but for some reason, the ancients didn't create this process with video game collecting in mind.
What the f***, George Washington?
So you've got your space for collecting all set up the way you like it? Well, good luck keeping it that way once you move into a smaller room.
I can't fit the game shelf here. I can barely fit myself here.
The way I'm getting around this for now is by putting a couple pieces of broken down cardboard on the shelves in my closet and putting the games way up there. But the issue with that is that now my games are just really far away from all of my consoles. You also can't really say they're on display when they're here. Like, how do you go about showing that to someone?
May I interest you in seeing my game collection?
I would run away. And that's just the beginning of the issues with moving a game collection. What if your collection is bigger than mine? How do you move that? You'll probably have to buy double the amount of boxes to pack all of them if you have a collection the size of what the world's worst financial advisors would recommend. It was already sort of a pain in the ass getting all my stuff to my room in the first place. I don't want to think about the process of eventually taking it all out. My point is, game collecting comes with a lot of downsides too. If you're not in a spot financially to support buying games as they come out, well, you can't collect, or at least you shouldn't. If you're not in a spot where you're confident you won't be moving for a while, well, good luck moving your entire collection with you. But in the end, it's up to you. If this is something you really want to do, then those downsides won't keep you down, at least not forever. Collecting comes from a love of video games as an art form and a want to preserve this medium of art that, realistically, is incredibly volatile. Games can get lost to time incredibly easily, like PT or that one Scott Pilgrim game that was re-released really recently. By collecting them, not only are you making sure there's always at least one surviving physical copy of these games out in the wild, but you also get a cool centerpiece out of it. I still keep the Kmart edition of Metroid Prime on the dining room table. So yeah, I may not have much of a start on it, I may not have the funds to work on it, but I can call myself a game collector. Because you know what? Would someone who isn't a game collector ever willingly buy Persona 5 Royal? Yeah. But I sure as hell don't want to accept it.